Okay, awesome. Well, I'm so glad that this worked out. I meant to do it right after convention, and life got crazy. So anyways, I was going to welcome you all to the call. So nice to see all of you. This is really cool. We can do this from our living rooms. I was just going to share my 3 takeaways real quick. There's so many things as I'm going to go back through my notes and, refresh my memory on things. I know there's lots, but the top ones for me were time management, just even setting some hours to work Plexus. And then the second one was to develop the leader in me and in others and develop myself so I can be the best version of me. So not just in Plexus, but just life in general. And then another thing that struck me was I don't reach out about the business. I reach out about the products more than the business. And so I want to work on reaching out more about the business, because really it goes hand in hand. It's really selling short not to reach out about the business opportunity. And the other thing that I came away with from convention, I just feel like it's really belief building to be in person at events, and just, I don't know, hear the emotion and hear the testimonies and meet people, and I don't know, just the whole, the whole thing just solidified my belief that Plexus is the right time, the right products, right comp plan, great people. I don't know, I'm just thankful for the whole, just the whole thing. And then also I realized how thankful I was for our team culture. That's one thing I noticed, like our team, on up and even on down, I think is really special. Not everyone has the type of team that we're on, with the leadership and the culture in light of helping other people. And there's a Christian influence, I feel like, on our team in light of prayer and different things like that I realize not every team is like that. So definitely really exciting to be on a team like that, where, that's the culture. So anyways, those are my quick takeaways, and I'll let someone else go.
Okay, is that me? Since I was next on the list. Okay. I could just ditto everything that Megan just said. As I was listening to her talk, I was thinking about different things that I had kind of written down. And some of the things that you said were definitely on my list. But I had a few other things, so I'll just touch base on those. The one thing, like at the top of my list, was definitely the reality in this company. Just like when we saw all those people up on stage and the people that we were surrounded by, like you just think about 12,000 people all in one room, representing this company and just believing not only in the company, but in the products and in each other. And I totally love the whole one Plexus. I don't think I really got that before I went to convention. I don't know, it just didn't really click with me until we were there, and just all the people that we talked with. It was as if we were all in one great team and everyone was supporting each other. And I loved that. I've been involved in several MLM companies over the past 20-something years, and I've never seen anything like what we saw there. Just the way that the leaders of our company, like I don't know what their titles are, the president and the CEO, Alec and Charles, they were so real. Like they were right there. They put themselves out there with the rest, with everyone else. It's not like they hired someone else to come in. Yeah, they had, the one guy that was up there and did everything, but they were right there being a part of everything that we were all a part of. Like they wanted to be our friends. That's what it felt like to me. Like they really wanted to be a part of it. And I love that. It gave me a lot of belief, even though I was already, I love the products. I love my team. I love the team that we're on. But I really felt connected in such a way that I had not ever felt with other companies that I've been involved with. The other thing that really stuck out to me is the men of Plexus. Okay, so my husband obviously is an ambassador, and he's totally awesome in my book, of course. And when he went, he was just going with me because he didn't really, he loves Plexus, but he has his own business, and he wasn't thinking, oh, I'm going to go out there and go to any meetings. He was, I know, his total mindset was like, I'm not going to any meetings. I'm just going to have fun, go with you whenever you want me to. But then he went to meetings, and he literally is a changed person in light of Plexus. I mean, he already loved the product. He was already an ambassador promoting it, but he took away some great things. Like he started his own Facebook. We've always shared a Facebook. He started his own Facebook, and he was telling me all these things that he learned from the classes that he went to. And he's like, oh, I have to post 10 things personal before I can post anything about Plex. I mean, just all this stuff. And I'm sitting there going, like, who is this? And where's my husband? Like, what have you done with him? And he's coming home. He's asking me questions all the time. Like, what's happening with Plex? I mean, I don't know. To me, it just really opened up a whole new realm as far as like we were a team before, but now we're really a team, and he's got his own thing going. So just the reality of just all those men that were there, just working it together, to me, that was just one awesome thing. And so now we're definitely together on board with it. And I love that. And the other thing real quick that Megan talked about is just the Christian influence that we have on our team. On our, my downline, my upline, my sidelines, all the way up. I love the fact that we can, we obviously can speak out about our beliefs in the Lord, and we give so much support, and we know each other are praying for one another along the way. I love that. I totally think that's a great thing. And the best thing for me throughout this whole Plexus journey is my sideline friends. So I encourage my team all the time. Get some sideline friends, because it's a whole different realm. You're not really competing with someone on your downline. When you're sidelining, it's just a different feeling. So I would encourage all of you to do that. I loved connecting with my sideline friends at convention. So anyway, hope that was helpful.
All right. I'm going to kind of talk about, I told Megan, when we got split up into our groups, different by rank, Megan and I were in the Jewel training. And so I was going to kind of go over some stuff that we were taught in that. My favorite thing actually was listening to Alec. Alec talked to us for probably 30 minutes. And he gave us, he cried like 2 or 3 times. And he gave us like 7, I think I have 7 points that he gave us. And I'm just going to read through those really quickly. His biggest thing was schedule your time each day to work your business, set your boundaries. You need to have balance, don't let it overwhelm you. You need to, I think one thing he said was, when you're at the dinner table, put the phone down. You're at the dinner table, your family is still your focus. Just, have that good balance. Make an agreement with your spouse, like with that balance. He said, don't have a squirrel moment and get distracted. Stay focused. When you set that time, stay focused on Plexus during that time. If you want to set hours, whatever, however you want to do it. Concentrate on business building moments. Don't reinvent the wheel. Learn from the jewels. Learn from, Megan and I learned from our upline jewels, learn from our sideline jewels. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to, come up with new stuff all the time. Use, their resources as well. It's okay to have a break. Like he said, put the phone away. And he said, go build relationships and share the products. He said, this is a relationship business. It's not, we aren't out there to just sell people things. We are, it's about building that relationship as well. And then the last thing he said was prayer. And I loved hearing that from him. That was one of his biggest points was, pray. That, he was very vocal about that. And, I don't think he said too much in the main sessions about it, but, obviously like Megan and Angie have said, it was present. And yeah, just the Christian influence. I just love, another point I had was work should enhance your life, not to take away from it. So let it enhance your life. Don't let it, take away from it, and just keep your priorities straight. I have a couple others not from the Jewel session, but I was going to wait to see if anybody else said them. And if not, I'll just add them at the end. So that was mine. And Cassie, you can go ahead now.
All righty. I really feel like Plexus hit the jackpot with the speakers they had. That was pretty much my major takeaways. So the first one I have down is Rita Davenport. I really enjoyed what she had to say, and the fact that she uses comedy to kind of help us remember different things. And I loved what she said about it's not so much about when you got into Plexus, but it's more about when Plexus got into you. And I like my translation of that quote is like, when you catch the vision of Plexus and you decide that you'll do whatever it takes to be successful, you won't stop until you win. Like, that really hit home for me. I thought that was awesome. And I'm going to order her book, Sunny Side Up, because I think she's awesome. Let's see here. Latoya Silman, I think was her name. Look her up, follow her, find her. She has a great attitude. I think my favorite takeaway from her was she quit her full-time job. It was a high-profile job at a news network station to do Plexus as a result of not being able to endorse anything brand-wise, since she was such a high-profile worker in the media. So she took a huge leap of faith, and it's paid off in a big way. And my favorite quote of hers was, "It's not over until you win." And I think she got that from a Les Brown book. I thought that was awesome. Great mentality. And I'll just do one more because I don't want to take everybody's. Brenda Martin, I really enjoyed when she said, "If your why doesn't make you cry, you need to dig deeper." I can so relate to that, because to this day, when I think about my why, it makes, it kind of pulls those emotions, pulls those heartstrings. Think about what you want for your children. What do you want for your future? What do you want for your family? What does success mean for you? And if you can dream it, Plexus can provide it. And I truly believe that. And that's really all I had. I think, is Casey next? I'm not sure.
I am. Yes. Okay. Okay, I really did enjoy Rita Davenport. I was going to mention her as well. I love how, she wants to make light and make everyone laugh. Like, I don't know. I really appreciate laughter. You learn more when you laugh. I do. I don't know. And something she said, which I've had experience with here at home, is you do this business to set an example for your they see me working constantly. They see me on my phone. They make jokes all the time. Mommy's always talking on her phone. I love it because they're seeing me work. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. Yes, at the dinner table we have a rule. We put our phones down. I don't want their iPods there either, but that's always been a rule of mine. So I love Rita Davenport. I got a lot out of her. I have probably the most notes from convention from her, just because she was a riot. But then in gold training, what I got from, it was Rhonda Shaw and Jen Hawkins. They were great, by the way. I didn't think I would get as much out of that as I did. So I really focus now on small gatherings and sip and sees. The lunch dates, just having a couple people over at a time. For example, tonight I had 2 people show up, and it was great. I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. So right there, I thought, okay, I don't need to fill a whole room. 2 people coming over was a huge success. They walked away. I cannot wait. I mean, we'll get into that later, but 2 people, perfect. The perfect sip and see. And sorry, I have to shut the door real quick. So the gold training and the senior gold training, that was very beneficial. About time blocking your day, task priorities, stuff I need to do, because I'm always on my phone, and I need to probably time block a little bit better. But no, convention was excellent. Plexus really does it big. I enjoyed it, and can't wait for next year.
What? All right. Are you done, Casey? Is that all? Okay. Chrissy, you want to go ahead?
Sure. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. I'm kind of like them. I took away a lot from Rita Davenport, and everybody keeps talking about the humor and everything, and I just wanted to, the one thing I actually had written down was just for us to remember that in that humor, she gave not a quote, but a statistic that said people retain information 80% more with laughter and fun. And I think that's huge on our part as we're building relationships with people, that it doesn't just have to be serious. You know, it doesn't have to be all about the business. It is about, you know, enjoying your time with the people that you're reaching out to and, you know, building your business that way. So I thought that was really important, and that really stuck out to me. The second thing was that she said also was that it doesn't do you any good to work hard if you don't work smart. And so it kind of goes along with the time management. I mean, we can waste a lot of time, you know, scrolling Facebook and trying to like posts and doing things, but I have personally just really been trying to be intentional with my time. And I think that a lot of the leaders and the jewels and everybody have kind of been really pushing that for those of us who are just, you know, and I say just starting out, but we're, you know, we're silver and working our way up. And I think that's very important, is to really be intentional with what we're doing. And then the last one was, I can't remember his name, but he was the very last speaker that we had there at convention. So if anybody remembers and can shout that out. He actually said something, he talked more about financial, you know, gain and stuff from the business aspect of what Plexus can offer and just having the business. And he kind of posed the question, and I wrote this in like bold letters for me, and it was just something to reflect on that I thought, you know, it might hit home with somebody. But his question was, does your family deserve the freedom or choice and of whatever it is that you're going for, you know? And that, I think that really has to do with, you know, going back to your why. You know, everybody hears from the jewels, and you know what I'm saying, everybody always hears the same thing, but it was kind of just reconfirming what everybody else said, because we're hearing it from someone outside of Plexus. You know what I mean? It is important as a business owner, you know, he has several successful businesses, to actually confirm and hear everything that everybody is saying and just expound on what we're learning with Plexus. So the things that people are teaching us are good, and we need to understand that, you know, like Cari said too, you know, don't reinvent the wheel. People know what they're talking about, you know, just follow and really listen to what your leaders are saying, and you really can't go wrong. So those are the three big takeaways that I had.
All right, I think I'm next. The biggest thing that I had, I think Jessica said it, and we've said it all over our groups and everything, but do something every day that scares you. This is it. I've never done a Zoom meeting. I've never talked on the computer to anyone, so this is my thing today that scares me. Another thing that I learned, and I think it was Rita Davenport that said it too, but she asked the question, what are you ashamed of? Why are we not sharing this with everyone that we see? And it's not that I'm ashamed to tell people that I'm a Plexus ambassador, but it's what will they think of me? What will they say? What will they do next? What do I say next? So it's those constant questions that are going through my head, instead of, you know, telling people proudly that I'm a Plexus ambassador and I work for this company. Another thing Rita Davenport said was never stop learning. That's another thing, is I know that already, or I've done that already. But never stop learning about the products, never stop learning about the business. That was a big thing for me. Another thing, I think it was during my silver breakout session, one of the Diamond Ambassadors, she was talking about how many level 1s that she has. And she said that she had over 100 level 1s, but 85% of those people were cold contacts that she reached out to. They didn't come to her. And that was mind-blowing to me. I post on Facebook and I kind of send messages here and there, but I always think people are going to come to me and come saying, oh yeah, what's Plexus? Let's do this together. I have to be the one to start that. And she said, you have to reach out to them and tell them why they should try the products or what you see in them to make them believe that they could do this too. And to add to Chrissy, I actually had a quote from John Addison, the last speaker during the day, and his was, I'll see you at the top because the bottom is crowded. And that really, really stuck with me.
All right.
Remind them to mute.
If anybody hasn't unmuted already or muted, if you can mute your, there you go. Thank you. I have about 24 pages of notes from the convention, which was awesome. The convention was amazing.
Whoa, Tina, I think you're not muted. There's a little button you can mute. You see it? Okay, anyways, you can just go ahead and talk over it.
One thing that stood out to me when we got there, there was all sorts of people, super fit people in the gym, just fitness kings and queens. There was people in wheelchairs with oxygen tanks wearing plexus stuff. And I started thinking, I thought that's really cool about plexus is that every single one of these people have a story. Every single person, not everybody started at the same place. And I don't know why I was moved by that, but I just really was. And one thing I was encouraged with was they showed up. They came to convention. And I really wanted to talk to a lot of these people that were, some of them in wheelchairs, motorized carts. I really wanted to hear their story because they have a story to tell, and I guess my takeaway of that was everybody starts at a different place. Everybody has different goals, and whether they're a rock star or whether they're not a rock star, each one of them deserves a solid upline who will invest in them and help them reach their goals. And so that was my takeaway with that is no matter who is in my downline, I want to build them up. I want to help them meet their goals, whatever their goals may be. And I know it sounds real simple, but the people in the wheelchairs really moved me. They were awesome. I was so glad to see them there. But the other thing is time management. We've already covered that a couple times. I have a lot of time wasters I need to cut out of my schedule. Another thing is, I don't know who said it. It might have been Rita Davenport or right before Rita Davenport. They said silver is a milestone. And you hear people say a lot of times, they'll say, well, I'm just silver. And I think as leaders in our teams, we need to stop. As soon as we hear someone say that, we need to correct them right away. It's not just silver. You are silver. It's a milestone. You're already in the top 8.65% of the company at silver. So whenever I see someone they promote to silver now, I'm like, hey, you're the top 8% of the company already. Hey, way to go. Because it's a mindset. The way we think is what we become. And we really need to build up the people on our team. It's not just silver. It's a huge milestone, and it's something to be celebrated for sure. The other thing, the last thing is being at convention kind of confirmed some of the things that Megan and I have been talking about for months, some things we've been praying about. I'm so convinced that this is the right company. I'm so convinced that this is the right time, that they have the right products, they have the right compensation plan, they have the right leaders, and that the business opportunity right now it's just the right time. So leaving there, you guys could pray for us, but we're going in a different direction. I'm going to ask at work for an early layoff this year, and typically we get laid off in December and we go back to work in March. But I talked to the owner of the company the other day, and he asked me how Plexus was going, and I told him it was going really well and that I'd like to get laid off early this year. So he said that he fully supports that decision and that he wants to be our plan B for depending on what happens or doesn't happen. And he said, you have to take advantage of this opportunity. And then he signed up for Plexus. So I don't know what that's all about, but whatever, I'll take it. So it looks like I'll be getting laid off with the full support of the ownership of the company in August, and we'll see what's going on next March, whether we go back or go somewhere else. But really the decision to do that had a lot. I mean, we were already thinking in that direction, but just the company is just amazing, and the people in the company are amazing. Everything about it really is. So that's where we're at.
Okay, Linda's next. Is Linda on?
Okay, can you hear me?
There you are.
Okay. I am doing my first takeaway, and that is stepping out of my comfort zone and talking to you guys on camera. I'm nervous sitting here watching everyone else, but you guys have covered a lot of the things that I took away from convention as well. I absolutely loved Rita Davenport. She was very motivational. And one of the things that she said that has stuck in my head, it will cost you nothing to dream, but it will cost you everything if you don't. I've never really been a big dreamer, and I guess coming from a small town mentality, they kind of knock down your dreams pretty quick. But I feel like after being at convention and being surrounded by so many successful people and you guys, that I feel like I can do this. And the best thing about convention was taking Jonathan and getting him on board and having his support 100%. That makes a huge difference. Also, they talked about when we broke up in our classes in the gold session, which I thought was absolutely great. I took a lot away from there. They talked about training your ambassadors in the first 30 to 60 days. And I think that is very important. I've tried to touch base since we got back with all my ambassadors and trying to get them more involved. And also, I know you guys already tell us this all the time about IPA and goal setting. And I have come to realize that that is very important. And that is at the top of my list now. I work on IPAs every day. I stepped out of my comfort zone again tonight. I took 4 samples with me to Walmart to get groceries, and I gave all 4 away. And I took some names and some numbers, so I'm excited. I have a sip and see tomorrow night at a friend's house that just joined, and we have another one in July. So I'm very excited, and I feel blessed that I had the opportunity to go. Thank you.
Okay, I think I'm next. I had such an amazing time at convention, and a couple of my takeaways, I left, as I sat there in the general sessions, I kept telling my husband, Plexus has such an honoring culture. That was like the first thing that stuck out to me when they would have the silver stand up. They just acknowledged everybody at every level, just took such time to talk about all of that, and then calling all the different people up on stage, some of the different people that work behind the scenes. And I remember thinking, they're taking all this time, they clap for them and they leave because they honor people. So that was huge for me to see that. So that was my number one thing that I just loved about it. And then the other, another thing was the opportunity. Megan had touched on this, I think, and some others did, but for me, I was never bold about the opportunity. It's always been about the product because we love the product so much. I came back on fire for the opportunity. And so I'm really much bolder, and I came home and just started messaging a ton of people. I have a meeting that I'm going to be scheduling with a girl that actually had said no to the product. So I messaged her back and said, you need to do this business. This is like amazing. So because I just totally believe in it now, I feel like I did before, but fire's been lit within me. And then just the third thing is to be bold. So on the way home, I remember Angie had said she had given out samples on the way on the plane, and I intended to do that, but I was chicken. And so I kept my samples in my little bag. And so on my way, we left early in the morning, and that day was a long day, like 24 hours of travel because our flight got canceled in Philly. So we had to fly into Boston and drive back. It was just horrible. But I remember I had prayed and I had asked God to give me people to reach for him and for Plexus. And so it started with our cab driver. I still have these people's names and I'm praying for them. And then the guy that we sat next to. And then, I mean, every single flight. So it actually gave me such a boost of confidence to be able to reach out. So I feel like I have renewed passion for Plexus and just our upline. I just feel so blessed that we are definitely in the right business at the right time with the right products, but with our right upline. And so I came back with my team telling them how amazing our upline is and this company, and they all need to be at Leaders Retreat. So that's my thing now, is I feel partially stressed because I really need to get to Leaders Retreat. And so, yeah, so that was my takeaway.
Hey, Sarah. We have 6 minutes left on the whole thing. So Sarah's going to go, and then Cari and I are going to tag team a little bit about Leaders Retreat super fast.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Like Megan said, I'll make it super quick. The biggest thing I took away was from the senior gold meeting, and that was when they were talking about prospecting do's and don'ts. And the biggest thing is to focus on the others and their needs, not focusing on trying to sell them or share with them. It's really about relationship building. That's what network marketing is about. And then the other thing that really has stuck with me, and this is what I've been incorporating, is running with your runners. Find those 2, 3, 10, however many people it is that are really intentional about the business, and run with them. Work with them one-on-one. Start those IPA groups, those 2 to 3 people with you. And I mean, I'm already seeing great results with just even running with my runners, I guess you could say. I'll leave it at that because I know we're real short on time.
All right. I'm going to say 3 quick quotes, and then we'll go on a Leaders Retreat. This is not a race. It's a journey. Don't compare yourself. It costs nothing to dream, but everything not to. So dream big. And God is watching you. Give him a good show. That was my favorite. I love that one. All right. So Leaders Retreat, October 27th through the 29th. We got an email with the convention contest. If you haven't seen it, it's on the team pages, and I can post it on the link under this. It looks like this. This is something you have to earn. So make sure your teams know that. You need 750 credits in order to go, and then after that, it's just additional prizes. Megan, go ahead. I'll let you add more to it.
Okay. Leaders Retreat was the very first event that I attended in Plexus, and it was wonderful. They spoil you. They do it big, like Casey was saying. There's some training, there's some opportunity. There's actually, it was way more relaxed than convention. There's a lot more time for sightseeing and meeting people and chatting with people and things like that. So it was huge. Really helped build his belief. I mean, it was good for me too, but it was, you felt like it was really helpful.
Yeah, that was I was pretty skeptical going. I wanted to go, but if you have anybody, if you have a spouse that might be skeptical, that would be a great place to take them, because I left there with a vision for the business side of the company. So.
Yeah, so anyways, definitely make sure that you encourage your teams and private message people like, hey, you can do this. I was silver when the convention, or when the Leaders Retreat started, or the contest for it started last year. Wendy Lawson, she realized, I think it was in August, she's like, hey, I think I can do this. She mapped it out. She got, Post-it notes. I think she had 10 people to be able to make it and get there. And she did it. I was so excited. So it's doable for people that have just started, and, doable for all of us to get there.
When I started in middle of July of 2014. So I'm almost at my 2 year. And my first year, I started in middle of July, and I earned it. And this is when it ended September 15th. So I did have almost 2 months, but I didn't do anything in July at all. So I only did it in about a month and a half, and I earned it my first year. So it is. I mean, people who haven't even joined yet will probably be there. I mean, it is very doable. I guess we should hurry up here. But what I want to say is, like she said about Wendy, map it out. How many new ambassadors do you need? Go for the high PV. How many new customers, because it is doable for all of you. So
Yes. All right. It'll be super fun too. Can't wait to celebrate with everyone. All right. Thanks so much for being on the call, for everyone sharing, and we will post the recording, and have a great night, guys.
Yep. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.